my name is Manny Stotz, and I'm the Executive Chairman of TONStratCo with the ticker TONX on the NASDAQ. This is my very first chairman's message after having taken over this position just over a month ago. And I'm very excited to introduce our company to you and update existing and new shareholders. Our goal at TONStratCo is to build a premier public company that focuses on the TON and Telegram ecosystem. And these are the 5 points I want to take you through today, starting with an introduction and recap of TONStratCo. Every investment starts with an investment thesis. And the investment thesis for our company is very much based on the standalone investment thesis for TON. TON is an exclusive partnership with Telegram, and Telegram has over 1 billion monthly active users. And TON has proven use cases that are integrated with Telegram, and those are, for instance, stablecoins. Stablecoins arguably being the killer app of layer ones like TON. And stablecoins are terrific for getting a checking account, getting some yield and interest, and for payments and for instance, decentralized finance. But TON offers so much more inside Telegram. You can own your Telegram username or other NFTs, gaming assets, as so-called digital or virtual goods. There's many also B2B use cases on all the big Telegram platforms, whether it's the ad, the mini app, or the bots platform. Thirdly, TON is small relative to its opportunity. TON is 50 times smaller than Ethereum and roughly 11 times smaller than Solana today. And TON is also 60% below its all-time high, while Bitcoin and Ethereum are roughly at its all-time high today. TON is just entering the US market, and the wallet inside Telegram only went live earlier this summer. TON is not yet listed on some of the largest US exchanges, such as Coinbase. And TON also has massive potential in Asia, Asia being Telegram's largest market. And in Asia, the concept of the super app is best understood given the comparisons to WeChat, Kakao, and Line. So if you're excited about the standalone investment case on TON like I am, you will hopefully also be excited about the investment case for TONX, which in addition to the points I've mentioned, rests on the following. Number one, we are the largest public company, permanent capital vehicle that focuses on this ecosystem. This is a winner takes most game, in our humble opinion, where relative scale really matters. There's massive scale economies in raising capital, particularly the cost of the capital. And we don't think that anyone can catch up with us that at least focuses on the TON ecosystem. Beyond, we are the most dominant of all the so-called digital asset treasury companies today. TONX already owns more TONcoin as a percentage of supply than, for instance, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy owns Bitcoin. Indeed, we want to be the first digital asset treasury company that crosses the important 5% threshold that will hopefully be achieved very soon. Thirdly, unlike the Bitcoin companies, but of course similar to Ethereum and Solana, we have significant revenue and cash flow opportunities from staking. Fourth, we're trading, today at least, at an undemanding valuation, both in absolute and relative terms. Fifth, we enjoy the backing of world-class investors and hopefully have a world-class board and management team. This is a list of our world-class backers, investors, and strategic partners, all participants in a $558 million common equity pipe, which we concluded early August. Those include not only world-class investment funds who have been deep in the broader crypto, but also TON ecosystem, for instance, Ribbit Capital, but also strategic partners, both in the West, for instance, Blockchain.com or Kraken, or Galaxy, but also in the East, like Maxi Ventures and others. Here's a quick timeline, what happened as a recap. Early August, we announced and closed this pipe investment in the very same week, in arguably record time. And in the same week, we also announced a $1 billion ATM shelf, which has been active ever since. We also got public support and endorsement by Telegram's founder, Pavel Durov, about which we are hugely excited about and grateful for. We printed our first NAV on the 21st of August at around $780 million. We changed our ticker to TONX early September, and in the same week also announced a $250 million buyback program that has been approved anonymously by the board. With the ATM, and the buyback, we now have both the most important tools we need to use our balance sheet to grow book value per share and drive shareholder value for the long term. What has happened in the TON ecosystem only in the last month? TON is special for many reasons, not only its Telegram integration, but also it is the only large layer one that is not yet fully available in the United States, the most important capital market in the world, not yet listed on Coinbase, not yet listed on Gemini, only listed on Robinhood last week, but also the only large layer one that is not yet fully available in the perhaps second most important market in the world, which is South Korea. TON is not yet listed on the largest South Korean exchange, Upbit, which is bigger than Coinbase. And only in the last month, TON got already listed on Robinhood and two other platforms, Nexo and Zengo. We fully expect in the due course of time that TON will be available on all major platforms in all major markets. TON's success is very much linked to Telegram. And it's important to understand how Telegram is better for TON being inside it and how TON benefits from this symbiotic relationship. Every company starts with a founder, and I would make the case that Telegram is an N of one asset run by an N of one founder. Pavel Durov is literally the only human being who's ever built an app that not only 1 billion people use every month, there's maybe a handful of others of those, but the only one of those who owns 100% of said app. Meta allegedly has over 400 product managers, and I'm told Mark Zuckerberg is not one of them. Telegram has only one single product manager, and that's Pavel Durov. Not only is the app very large in terms of users, 1 billion monthly active and growing, it is topping the App Store rankings. It is the default messenger for the global crypto community today, and is also the number 6 app in the world. Let's go for the other 5 and ask the question, which of them are integrating blockchain? You have WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, who have so far been unable to do so. And then you've got 2 Chinese giants. You got Tencent's WeChat, ByteDance TikTok, who also have not been able to integrate with blockchain. That makes Telegram the world's biggest. It's number 1, which is live and is deployed. If you give me your Telegram handle right now, I could literally press a button as easy as a text message and send you a US dollar stablecoin or TON coin itself or any other asset that lives on the TON blockchain. To hear from the founder, think of Telegram almost like a digital nation, a digital economy with over 1 billion participants, digital citizens, who not only, of course, spend time messaging each other, but also now sending each other payments and conducting business. And in the due course of time, 30 months out, Telegram should have close to 1.5 billion users, making it the most populous nation, physical or digital, in the world. So think about the economic value of that activity that effectively all runs on TON blockchain. Telegram is growing despite its massive scale. From a humble start of something like 20 million users 12 years ago, 50x later, it's not stopping. In my humble experience, the first billion is the hardest. And 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, maybe 4. That is the plan for Telegram. Daily signups are still at roughly 2.5 million a day. The daily active users divided by the monthly active users is roughly 46%. So that means half of Telegram users open the app every day. And just look into the mirror. There's nothing you do more often on a day-to-day basis than checking your messaging app. This is the holy grail of social media. And Telegram is, in my humble opinion, by far the best product. Try it for yourself. And Telegram with TON inside it makes the app even more useful. This is a chart from the TON Foundation showing in the dark blue the expected growth of Telegram users, expected to hit 1.5 billion in the next few years. And TON Foundation expects 1/3, so 500 million users of those being on TON blockchain, which would make it by far the most widely used blockchain, at least by today's standards, and certainly vying for the number 1 spot globally, as perhaps one of the most ambitious blockchain projects in the entire world, even if you've never heard of TON. What are the use cases? Imagine one door inside Telegram to the world of crypto, and behind that door, the entire city of crypto. First and foremost, it starts with the wallet, which exists both in the self-custodial and custodial form. in at least most jurisdictions. In the US so far, only self-custodial, the TON wallet, launched in July. And what the wallet allows you to do, it allows you to interact with stablecoins, the most important killer app for TON and for other layer 1 blockchains. Think about stablecoins like a checking account, but also there's, of course, stablecoins with a yield, like a savings account. It allows you to not only earn interest, but then do payments, whether it's peer-to-peer or paying businesses, paying with QR codes, paying with cards, and remittances, also very, very important. The remittances is important to understand as Telegram users sit on both sides of the remittance corridors, so in both rich countries and poor countries. Beyond stablecoins, which is, of course, very much a financial use case, there's less financial use cases in owning your digital identity, your digital username. You can own your Telegram username, which you cannot do on any other platform like X. And you can own @John, @Peter, @Maria. And think about the value of this real estate, which is similar to the domain names in the early days. And it doesn't stop at just human names. You can own @Bank, you can own @Football, the most popular sport in the world. You can own @Cat, @Dog, @Love. You can literally, the design space and the surface for monetization that Telegram with TON allows you to pursue is on a whole nother level compared to other blockchains. And it doesn't stop at usernames. You can own your gaming items and characters. You can own gifts. You can own your phone number, all as NFTs on the TON blockchain. I would highly encourage you to actually use it and play with it to understand the use cases. And it does not stop at consumer use cases. There are many business-to-business use cases as well. First and foremost, on the ads platform. So Telegram runs 3 large platforms on the B2B side. One is the ads platform, which really is a use case also to understand is only truly possible with blockchain. Now, how would you pay out content creators, channel owners, as an advertiser, with Telegram being in the middle, which literally are participants in 150 countries. To do this in fiat, in different currencies, would be extraordinarily complicated, and blockchain literally solves that. The ads platform for Telegram is exclusive to TON, as is the mini app platform. It is estimated that roughly 500 million Telegram users are users of the mini apps. And mini apps can be developed by any developer. And if you develop a blockchain-related mini app, it has to be a TON wallet, TON Connect. It's exclusive to TON. Thirdly, the bots platform. Bots can be AI agents, but also bots can be little or not so little businesses. There's, for instance, large trading bots on Telegram making hundreds of millions of dollars of revenues a year at very high margins, which are also going to benefit the TON blockchain. Here I want to show you 2 videos. One is about stablecoins, and you see that it's as easy as a text message, as easy as apple pie. And I would highly encourage you to try this yourself by downloading the app and playing around with the TON functionality. Secondly, I want to show you a video about Telegram gifts and our favorite artist, Snoop Dogg.
Digital resistance, shifted, gifted and lifted. Give me the lane, see when I bang, I need running room. Stickers and games on Telegram, yeah, it's coming soon. My privacy is not for sale. Check the email, my nephew Pablo told me some things that I needed. Sent me a gram and said read it. Noted, quoted, devoted. On the left, JF, you've been coded. Put my heart and my mind in the block into it. No shade, it's the way, but you got to do it.
Coming back to conclude this section, I would like to point out that in my simple mind, every blockchain has effectively a chicken and egg problem. Now, why would anyone use Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, or TONcoin for that matter, if no one else uses it? You have as a result, diehard early adopter community and these adoption waves and going through the cycles, and it's a classic chicken and egg. Now, it turns out we have a chicken, a giant chicken called Telegram. Can we lay the egg? That is the question. And I think we're really in the middle of a paradigm shift within crypto, within blockchains. In the old paradigm, we had blockchains which are very much focused on technology only, super fast, super scalable, super cheap, but no one uses it. And very little to no focus was on either user interface, user experience, distribution, and the complexity was too high. As a result, the adoption has been frankly disappointing beyond leverage, speculation, and casinos in the Bahamas. And I'm being facetious here, but having seen the power of this technology, especially in the global south, I really believe that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. But what we need is a 10 times improvement in user interface, user experience, and it needs to be abstracted. And Telegram does exactly that with TON inside it. But TON and Telegram, you have very simple onboarding, you have a billion user distribution, you have one of the world's best product teams building the world's best user interface and experience, and obviously you've got clearable use cases with real traction. What is the market opportunity for TON? How big is big? As I mentioned, TON is a fraction of the size, roughly 50 times smaller than Ethereum today, and roughly 11 times smaller than Solana. Although it will potentially end up with more users than each of them, perhaps even both of them combined. And we don't even look at Ethereum and Solana at all as competition for TON. We think it could be very symbiotic, where it's horses for courses. Ethereum is very robust in its security, but it might be more suitable for certain B2B cases. Wall Street infrastructure might run on Ethereum. Right? And Solana has a very special strength in its high speed and high frequency trading applications. Meme coins is a good example. TON's superpower is, of course, distribution with Telegram. It has been designed for speed, but also for scalability. Not only tens, but hundreds of millions, ultimately billions of users on chain simultaneously, as well as AI agents, which might be outnumbering humans on chain eventually, all running through the Telegram app, but also potentially other social networks. It needs to be understood that while Telegram is exclusive to TON, TON is not exclusive to Telegram. TON could also partner with other, it would likely have to be a free speech aligned social network, whether that's Rumble, X, Reddit, or similar platforms. Now, I think, in my personal opinion, it could almost play out like the Mag 7. Mark Twain, after all, said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. What I mean by that is that in the Mag 7, or the FANGs beforehand, it wasn't that Google ate Apple's lunch and Apple ate Facebook's lunch, which ate Amazon's lunch. No, everything got bigger. And it was largely symbiotic. And here, there's, I don't know whether that's 4, 5, or 7, but there's a small number, a handful of at least candidates for becoming trillion-dollar protocols. Now, Bitcoin's at 2 trillion, already there, probably going higher. Now, if Bitcoin goes to 4 trillion, it's only a 2x, right? Ethereum is already at $500 billion, clearly the next candidate in line. If Ethereum goes to 1 trillion, which I fully expect in the due course of time, it would be also only a 2x, right? Solana may be more interesting. That's roughly 100 billion. That would be a 10x from here to go to 1 trillion. But if you believe, like I do, that TON might be in that group, and it is at 8 billion market cap today, that would be, 120x. And cut it in half twice, but it's hugely compelling, especially for the obvious reason that it is exclusive to Telegram and not yet in the US and not yet properly available in Korea or Japan. Now, Telegram is a private company. You can't own Telegram stock. We are the only public company where you can get equity exposure, not only, of course, directly to TON, but also indirectly to the growth and dynamism of the Telegram digital economy, which is running on TON. And Telegram is maybe not a Mag 7 company, but maybe it would be a Mag 20 company. Like Telegram's not playing in the peer group of Ethereum and Solana, perhaps. It's playing the peer group of Meta and Tencent and ByteDance, of course, also X and maybe Snap and Reddit, right? But a hugely differentiated, unique, and arguably compelling equity story. Coming back to our thesis, which we started with, hopefully it will make a ton more sense looking at this now. The standalone investment case for TON rests on the partnership with Telegram, proven use cases, massive market cap to opportunity, also I think a very strong entry point, 60% below its all-time high, while Ethereum and Bitcoin are, in close striking distance of their all-time highs, with just about to entering the US market and super app potential in Asia. We're also not only the first, but also by far the largest digital asset treasury for TON in what is a winner takes most game. We are more dominant than other digital asset treasury companies already, and we're just getting started. We have significant staking, cash flow and revenue opportunities. We are backed by a world-class team of investors, but also on the management on the board, and we're trading at an undemanding valuation. I can't emphasize the importance of relative scale enough. In our humble opinion, this is a winner takes most race. And we think Michael Saylor has understood this very clearly. And over the last 5 years, at an accelerating pace, he has become 30 times bigger than the number two. And there's just massive scale economies in raising capital, especially the cost of the capital. And that doesn't mean the number 2 or 3 or 4 can't do well. They seemingly can, especially in very large ecosystem like Bitcoin. I don't think they can ever catch up with Saylor or match him at the cost of capital. We also very much admire the team, for instance, at Bitmine, Beam, and R, who are the leader in the Ethereum ecosystem. But there's a race. They're at 1.5% ahead of the pack. There's at least a handful of other Ethereum treasury companies trying to catch up with them. In TON, there is no second best TON treasury company. And we are even more dominant than MicroStrategy is in Bitcoin. Staking is a huge advantage over, for instance, Bitcoin companies who don't have native yield, i.e. they don't have native revenues or as a result, profits, but they have costs. Now, of course, not unique to TON, that also exists in Ethereum and Solana, we have native staking yield. What this means is we stake our TON, providing security to the network, which is a utility as a service, staking as a service, that we then get reimbursed for in terms of yield. And this is where, again, scale really matters. It's almost like building an investment management business. And it makes a difference if you've got 10 million under management or $1 billion. You don't have 100 times more cost, but you have 100 times more revenue. And we have also more protection. So if we are faced with market downside volatility and our NAV were to compress, of course, we've got yes yield at the time, but we might still be, might still be a lot of money given our cost base. And we don't put the TON price on this chart as this is dynamic, and it will have changed by the time of this recording being released. But with our just over 217 million TON coins on our balance sheet and the just over 4% staking yield, you can do the math at which TON coin price it would generate, $25-35 million in revenues. And you can also rest assured that we work for the common stockholder. So we will manage a tight cost base, especially on the cash side, and we intend to scale our staking business in more ways than one. What's next? Now, we don't want to wrap all Christmas presents in one box. However, we want to give you a short preview of what you can expect from us over the coming weeks and months. Number one, you can expect us to continue to accumulate TON coin. As I mentioned, we would like to become the first company that is publicly listed and crosses the 5% ownership threshold as of circulating supply of any digital asset ecosystem. Secondly, we would like to not only make staking revenues from our own balance sheet and do this with a third-party provider, we would eventually like to own our own staking infrastructure, whether we build it or we buy it. That means we avoid any leakage from gross to net yield and capture that economic value and hopefully capitalize those extra profits in our equity capitalization. Thirdly, we would like to even go further in staking and to potentially do delegated staking for third parties, i.e. we do staking as a service. And we could then capture even additional profits from third-party capital, which is held in TON coin and being held in custody at third parties, but also being staked through us and having more revenues, more profits, and hence more equity market cap. Next, we would like to consider tokenizing our stock using our superpower, Telegram's distribution, on the TON blockchain, and hopefully we'll have got good news on that shortly. Lastly, we would like to be a supporter of the TON open source ecosystem, and you'll hear more about this as well. Stay tuned. I will be speaking at the Korea Blockchain Week in Seoul later this month, giving a keynote speech, And I will be also in Singapore at Token 2049, perhaps the largest blockchain event before the end of the year. And please stay tuned on our socials. You can find us, of course, on Telegram. Follow us at TONStrat on both Telegram and X, or myself at Manuel Stotz on both Telegram and X. Thank you for giving us such a distinguished audience today.